Alright, I guess we're trying this for the 5th time or some stupid thing. I accidentally backed out of the last recording. So sorry I'm shaky, it's kind of crappy. I just finished cleaning it yesterday and adding some new corals. I went on a store run, got a bunch of corals. I hadn't been buying as many corals lately, but this is gonna be a good update. I haven't had any good coralline, but yesterday I scraped the crap out of this frag plug, and just after my water change got it all up in the water column, scraped it all against this rock. This is my hydrophoria. I think that's it, hydrophoria. It's actually an SPS from what I can find online. I've moved him up. He's doing real well. I've had him for, I think, a month or two, month and a half probably, and it's expanding, so it's growing onto its plug. It's doing real well. I couldn't ask for a better coral because I actually really like it. I think you've seen my little firefish, my clownfish, that's its reflection, and then a blue chromis that I've had since I've had the tank. I've had a few dead hermits here and there, but I think they're just getting past their time. I've really kept most of them. They're pretty sneaky, but once in a while you get all like 7 or 8 of them out, and you're like, oh, they're not all gone. That is my octospawn. Yeah, it's an octospawn, pink. I got that. I wanted like a hammer or torch, I think Euphyllia coral. It's now got like 3 heads on it. It's accepting food pretty well. So is that one. Pretty much everything I have takes food except for the Xenia and the GSP. I've got my Blasto, which actually it's gone from 1 to 4, well, 3 whole heads. You can see a big one there. Big one up top, there's another big one on the side, and then there's a little nub growing in the back. And then just yesterday I bought this nice red and green, or red and teal Blasto. Those are both Blasto. One's purple, one's dark raspberry red. I've had real good luck with the Blastos, and I really like them. They're very pretty. They're fun to feed. I do have a lot of algae in the back of the tank, as you can kind of see. I'm just kind of letting it go, do its thing, let the hermits eat it. I'm really not too worried. I don't have a crazy maintenance schedule. This actually is a test. This is a little 3D printed Bulbasaur I made, and I covered it in GSP, so we'll see if it covers. It looks to be the front and back and pretty much everything, but that side's doing really good. But my GSP was kind of going out of control. You can see, well, it's grown onto this branch pretty well, and then you could see it's also on the little plug back there. I had to frag it back a lot because it was trying to grow across the sand. This is a Gagornia, I think. Not a Gagornia. Yeah, I think it is a Gagornia. One of the waving. It's just a little frag. I got 2 of them. So I've got that one right there. They're really pretty. And this one right here, which a crab was walking across like 2 minutes ago, so it's all shriveled up. And then I've got this very colorful bounce mushroom, I believe is what that is. I think it's got a little mouth in the top. I haven't tried feeding these guys. They're gonna get fed pretty soon. I've got the brain coral, which is doing pretty good. It's still bleached a little bit, but it's actually growing on the frog plug, which it was not beforehand. So it's expanding. It's doing pretty good. I just kind of leave it alone, feed it a little. My Xenia's splitting off. It's growing, kinda. It's not growing the fastest, as everybody likes to tell you. It's not growing crazy ridiculous fast, but I like it. It's a nice addition. It, you know, it's good for the eye. It grows pretty quick, but I've had this up 5 months, and I can see where if you have it up for a few years, it'll get out of control without you knowing, but it's definitely manageable. I think that's about it. I mean, I've got the new corals, got the new fish. I've got snails. I don't know if I had them before. It's really starting to fill out. I probably ought to not have so many corals in here right now at this point. I mean, I have enough space, but once they grow, I mean, I'm hoping they expand a lot. I've been kind of just doing like bi-weekly 30% water changes, which they've been doing really well with that, but I don't know if I like that huge swing, just dumping in like brand new fresh water every 2 weeks, just a ton of it. I think I'm gonna continue, or bring it down to like 1.5 gallons every week. This is a 10-gallon system, but everything's doing really well. I just kind of wanted to log where I'm at, and I bought a new bucket. I got a couple buckets, but I bought one new bucket with a lid so I could throw a power head in there and mix water, and it's proving way easier than, well, I was missing a couple buckets, so I finally replaced one of them, and now it's a lot easier with an extra bucket. But everything's doing well. There's quite a bit of algae in the back. I'm just kind of letting that. I kind of just get algae. I'm kind of doing everything wrong in terms of algae. I've got quite a bit of nutrients in my tank. I don't use RO water because I just don't have the option. I don't feed that heavy, really. I probably feed the corals the heaviest, and by heaviest it just kind of floats. It gets around. Like when I feed the corals, it drifts around and kind of fogs up the water a little. And it's kind of in direct sunlight. I think that might have been some of my problem. I think it was with this brain coral. I think it was catching a little bit of extra sunlight. My torch coral, warhead coral, or octospawn coral, it doesn't mind sunlight at all. It definitely just gets nuked with the sunlight and doesn't care. It looks really pretty in the sunlight, and it does really well in this position. It's growing like a whole new head, and I haven't really had it that long, but I could see where those brain corals are supposed to be pretty sensitive, so I could see where that would cause a little bleaching and stuff. But everything else does real well. This is a really low maintenance tank. It's very enjoyable. Thank you. I'm gonna feed these fish because they are hungry, so have a good night.